I guess I'm gonna keep going until they stop me. So far I've created copycat recipes for 2 of Krispy Kreme's classic donuts, their blueberry cake donut and their cake batter donut. But now it's time to go after their original cream-filled donut. This is a regular glazed donut that's filled with a sweet whipped cream and topped with some icing stripes to let you know what it is. I don't think any copycat recipes exist for this online, so here we go. This recipe is meant for about a half dozen donuts, so you can double it if you want the full dozen. I got 7 out of this personally. For some standard glazed donuts, we're going to start with 180 mils or 3/4 of a cup of whole milk. We'll add in 30 mils or 2 tablespoons of water and then heat that to between 90 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Add a half packet or 3.5 grams of active dry yeast and a little bit of sugar and mix that together. Alright, we know this by now. Everybody in unison.
Frothy boy.
Now I'll take out my stand mixer, or more like stand mixer, am I right? Sorry. I'm adding in 320 grams or 2 2/3 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 3 grams or a half teaspoon of kosher salt, 35 grams or 3 tablespoons of sugar, and an optional few seconds worth of grated nutmeg. Mix that for a second and then add in your frothy boy. Mix some more and add in a room temperature egg. Mix again for a minute or so, and then we're going to add in 40 grams or a 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening. You could use butter instead, but this shortening will get you more of that Krispy Kreme texture. Okay, then we bump this up to high speed and knead it for like 8 to 10 minutes. As usual, add more flour if you need to if it's looking too sticky, but it's done when it's not super sticky to your hands and you can stretch it without tearing it. Into an oiled bowl that goes to rise for about 2 hours. Also, shout out to Brandy for sending me this really nice bench scraper. You're the best. Then we dump that onto our clean floured work surface and then begin to roll it. I would say to roll this to about a 1/4 inch thick and try to make it even all around. Too thin would have your donuts not puff up enough and you wouldn't be able to fill them. But once it's even, I'm grabbing my 4-inch Pelican's cup and my spice lid, which always work really great for donuts. Punch out as many donuts as you can on the first round, and then it's important to roll up the scraps and then tuck it into a kind of ball shape. Let that rest for at least 15 minutes covered, because if you try to cut donuts out of that right away, the gluten is going to be too tight and they're going to be tough. But after that 15 minutes, you should be able to roll it out and then cut donuts once again. I put all my donuts in donut holes on a baking sheet and cover that and let it rest again for like 45 minutes. I let mine go for over an hour, but that's just how the time worked out this time. During that time though, you can make your glaze so it's ready to go once the donuts come out of the oil. I'm sifting 130 grams or 1 cup of powdered sugar into a bowl, adding a couple tablespoons of corn syrup, which really helps it harden around the edges and make it shiny, maybe around a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a pinch of salt, and then just pour in a little bit of whole milk at a time until you get the right consistency. I want this much thinner than I make for like my king cakes for instance, because I want it to kind of run off the donut and make a thin layer, so it should come out pretty liquidy when you pick it up with the whisk. I've definitely done glazes that are too thick before and it just makes the donut kind of unappetizing. But set that aside and we're going to heat up some neutral oil. I'm reusing some canola oil that I've used for donuts in the past, and you want it to sit between like 350 and 370 degrees Fahrenheit. Mine got a little too hot at times and cooked the outside of the donuts a little too fast, so using a thermometer is best practice. But once it's at temp, we're going to carefully lay in about 2 to 3 donuts at a time. You don't want to manhandle them because they're kind of puffed up and you don't want to deflate them. But every 30 seconds or so, I'm going to flip them to get even cooking on both sides. Mine are usually done around 2 minutes. You don't want them to be too browned. I just pull them off to a wire rack to drain, and then maybe only after a minute or two, I'm going to dunk them straight into the glaze while they're hot. A chopstick is the best tool to use for this in my opinion. You can flip it around and get good coating without disturbing the glaze on the donut. Then back on the rack they go to dry while we fry the rest of the donuts. These are already looking great and you could eat them like this, but we have a little bit more ways to go. So I'm going to make this whipped cream style filling. It's not really like a Bavarian cream filling, it's a little lighter in texture, but it's also much sweeter. I'm going into a small sauce pot with 50 grams or a 1/4 cup of sugar and 30 milliliters or 2 tablespoons of water. You can kind of mix that up to dissolve it and then heat it on medium high until it comes to a boil. This becomes like a simple syrup that'll serve as the base for our filling. I'm putting that into my stand mixer with the whisk attachment, followed by about 54 grams or a 1/4 cup of canola oil, or any neutral oil, then another 40 grams or a 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening, and I supplement with a 1/4 cup or 56 grams of softened butter. This brings a little bit more flavor than the shortening. Finally, just a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then I begin to mix that. And off to the side, I have 260 grams or 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm just spooning that in gradually as the mixer is going. Eventually, once I have all the sugar in, I'm going to put that to high speed to kind of whip it a bit. It should come out to have a nice fluffy texture like this. To properly get this into our donuts, we have to stick this into a piping bag, which I'm doing into a glass. And then once our donuts are pretty much fully cooled, we're ready to fill them. So I've never seen anyone fill a donut like this before. It's always been those whole circular donuts. It's a little bit more challenging when you have a hole in the middle like this. So I'm doing my best with my chopstick. I'm going to make 2 separate holes across the donut and then try not to disturb much of it, but kind of go in either side of the hole and try to make space. In hindsight, I probably would have made 4 incisions equally spread apart because these 2 holes didn't really get full coverage around the whole donut, but oh well. It's also hard not to disturb the glaze that is hardened around in a shell, but just do your best. You don't have to take a thumbnail like me, hopefully. So I grab that piping bag and snip off just the tip of it so I can fit it into the holes of the donut, and you just squeeze the filling in until it tells you that it's done by kind of coming out of the hole. I just went in either direction to make sure I was getting as much filling in there as I could, and I just repeated with the rest of the donuts. I also filled the donut holes because I had a lot of filling left over, and they filled a lot better. Okay, the last little element that Krispy Kreme does for these donuts to set them apart from the regular glazed is they put these stripes of icing on top. This is really not necessary. It won't affect the donut at all. It'll just make it look better. But in the spirit of accuracy, I'm going to do this. So I'm not measuring anything, but I'm just putting a handful of powdered sugar into a bowl and only a tiny bit of whole milk just to make it slightly pasty. I don't want this anywhere near as thin as the regular glaze because I want this to sit on top. So I mixed it to be this super thick consistency. And I don't need a lot of it, so I'm not using a whole piping bag. I'm just using a small Ziploc bag and then snipping the tiniest tip off of it, and I'm just carefully squeezing 1 line at a time across one side of the donut. Krispy Kreme's website shows that they do 5 stripes, but in reality it seems like it's more like 3, so I'm just going somewhere in between that. Just give that a few more minutes to sit and harden up, and you're done. These are your OG cream-filled donuts made at home. Usually I like to taste test these side by side with the Krispy Kreme version, but of course they weren't making them at the time that I made this video. Either way, we're gonna go to the taste test and see how these taste. Alright, the good vanilla extract for good vanilla milk. It's honestly a bummer that Krispy Kreme didn't have these to test side by side. Same thing happened to me with my blueberry cake donut recipe, but what can you do about it? These look incredible and I'm really happy with how they came out. As I've said before, donuts have been kind of challenging for me in the past. I've screwed them up a lot. Sometimes I've overmixed the dough or not rested it long enough after re-rolling it. Sometimes I've made them too thick or too thin, but I feel like I've gotten a lot better at them and I feel like these did come out really well. Like I said, I really don't know how Krispy Kreme actually fills these donuts that have holes in them like this, but the method that I showed you is the best that I could come up with, and it does pretty good. But let's jump right in and see what a bite of this tastes like. Cheers. Okay, that's a really good donut on its own, but the filling really completes something like this. As you can see, the filling didn't quite make it all the way around in all of these donuts, but even the small bites that you get of it stand up really well in the donut as a whole. I mean, the main thing I get when biting into this is the not artificial flavors that you get from Krispy Kreme, especially with the filling. I don't know exactly what they put into their filling, but ours isn't even made with really whole ingredients either, and it tastes leaps and bounds better. And again, it just tastes more homemade because that's what it is. Man, that dough is just so tender and spot on. And I think even if you follow an expert's recipe or even my recipe, you can still sometimes end up with a tough dough and it doesn't always come out amazing because I've done that before. But I guess this shows that with time, if you put enough effort into anything, you can get better at it and get more comfortable with it. Of course, I need to try one of the filled donut holes too. As expected, this one does a lot better job distributing the cream throughout. If I'm gonna make a filled donut recipe, then I'm gonna do a whole donut just because, like I said, it's easier to distribute it. But I kind of get the gimmick and the appeal of doing a whole donut like these with a filling. But this is my 3rd Krispy Kreme donut copycat recipe. I think it was a success. If you have any of their other donuts that you want me to try to copycat, let me know. Or anything else that you'd like to see. If you watch this to this point, I do appreciate it. I'm doing my best to keep going. Still have a few ideas to come, so stay tuned. Thank you all for watching, be blessed, and I'll see you next time. I don't say this a lot about what I make, but this one slaps.